Hello everyone and welcome in to Forge of Lore. I am your host Ray, here to go over the long rest for Saga Chapter 2 with the entire cast of DM Forge of Lore. Hey everyone, yeah.
Hey everyone! Woo!
Oh my god, we made it. Everyone, for those of you who are just now joining in either the episode or on YouTube and you're clicking around going, what's going on tonight? We have just completed Chapter 2 of our main campaign here on Forge of Lore Saga. It is wonderfully the beautiful brainchild of Emmy, our lovely DM, who has crafted a magical and fantastical world for us to play in, cry in, and try to maybe eat some good food in. And we are so excited that we are now, I believe Emmy said before stream started, that we are at 52 hours into the show so far. 52 hours. That's... I know we can pump those numbers up. We're going to get those numbers even higher, but with that being said, I know that we have some amazing questions that people have submitted that I have written up myself that I want to know answers to. If you're in our Discord, you can submit questions there on, discord.com/forgeoflore. You can go in there and, put as many questions as you want to, but if you also want to put them here on stream, so that way we see them and they're all shiny because you used points on them, you can do that in our chat below as we go through this. So now that we kind of understand the rules, what's going to happen this evening is I'm going to tell you exactly where we started this chapter and where we ended it. In Chapter 2 of Saga, after defeating the Ulfheist, the team got in touch with Julian's mask. Literally, we all went around and touched the mask to kind of get familiar with it. And as it had many different reactions to our group, we realized that maybe there was more to our elven friend than met the eye. Aisling continues to have god moments where she all of a sudden gets glowing eyes and speaks with an ethereal voice that we assume is Dryan, but they definitely are very eager to get information to us quickly. As we continue to explore the depths of these ruins, we find that there's a giant magical door, which we choose to ignore because it knocked me out. And, Bran had to jump in and save Gwen, and it was just a whole ordeal. And so we probably should stay away from Magic Door for now. And as we go through all of this, we again try to get more answers of the past, the ruin, the figures that were around, the 9 figures that were around the room. We find out later that this is very significant, but of course, we also, with the guidance of Catan, realize at the moment we need to actually look into more pressing matters outside the ruins. We need to look into the Fearsome Four, figure out why they did what they did, who they were. And through this past, as we do a quick investigation of Jarvis's home, we learn of a neighbor, Jake. Jake recognizes Julian upon meeting him, where we learn of this shadowy figure from Julian's past. And after a bribe of a good meal and some drinks, our team has discovered much more about his past in owning the Saga. Julian fought gods, and Julian has somehow found us again. After being very cryptic at the request of an unknown relation and saying that he was directed to not give us more info, he directed us to head north to speak to Grissa, which was Ivor's mentor, leader. Before the team can leave, however, we were attacked by Sean Koo. Sean Koo did put up a fight, and our group was able to uncover hidden abilities within ourselves as we stood in the presence of this shadowy figure named Jake. Catan and Gwen continue to be drawn closer together as this mystical connection is both forming and shattering in front of everyone. As we make our way from defeating the Ulfheist, investigating Jake, we now realize that we should probably head back to Sidhay, the man who sent us on this quest to retrieve the Saga. Maybe even get to see the home of Aisling. Gwen continues to try to use her ability and tries to read Sidhay read Catan, but everything seems very confusing. No one is who they say they are, and the webs and knots that tie us all together weave ever closer. As we begin to tell Sid Hay about the events of the ruins after getting to Port Ekni and, trying to read more and build more of a trust, he's whisked away. He tells us not to trust anything we hear, and just as Bran realized that the man he was fleeing with was one of the individuals who capped Willow, before he could react, the Peacekeeper appeared there in the shop and realized that we may have some valuable information. He brings us to Mythir City. He basically is like, you're coming with me to Mythir City. Julian gets a goblet. Very important. Cannot forget that he took that goblet. What it is, we don't know, but he took it. As we are whisked away to Mythir City, we arrive at the council chambers, a hub of activity, the heart of Mythir City, in full swing and full motion on this day. We're led to a secret room of the Peacekeepers, a private place away from Melandria, almost as if he owned his own plane of existence. And as we're led into his office, he confronts us with knowledge that each and every one of us has abilities, and he has been tracking us and trying to keep tabs on us as a group. We realize in this moment that Catan is not being fully honest with us. In a heated moment of intense stress and pressure, we learned that Catan was not who he said he was. In fact, she was actually a changeling named Philon, or a shapeshifter. We don't know exactly what she is, but she changes form just like Gwen. In a moment of guilt and confession, Phelan admits to murdering Catan. This, of course, sets our group off in a most volatile way. But before we can even react to that, the Peacekeeper urges us outside to a different threat, a new threat. To already complicate a situation only seems to draw in more chaos, and as our realm is assaulted by an outside force led by a female Onyx tiefling named Mira. This kill-hungry invader seems to summon demon spiders and small dragons to attack the capital, to destroy it, to rip it asunder. The Peacekeeper, recognizing the threat, chooses to teleport us and himself away. As we attempt to collect ourselves, we realize that the threat of the reset did not happen. The cycle, for whatever reason, this endless knot, has been broken. A lonely boy appears to our group in the forest and seems to be connected to us. After a quick confrontation with Phelan, Gwen learns the truth about Catan's death, her past, and even her desire to help Melandria. Gaining Gwen's trust, Phelan is able to share the memory she took from Willow and how Willow, Lostfeather, understood Phelan's position. While this fragile trust, now seemingly resolved, sits with the group, there's still immense pressure to even figure out of knowing where to start in attempting to deal with Mira. The Peacekeeper chooses to go off, seemingly eager to continue in helping us with our goals, however different they may be. During the evening, our group grows closer, and the next day we continue learning about the fate of Mythir City. Each of us writing dire letters to try and reach out to people that we know and love. We realize that we must find Sidhe yet again, for it seems that he is the key to telling us more about our current task and how we may be able to resist what is to come. Just as we land in Port Ekni, though, a Luxodon appears by the name of Arden, screaming about his vengeance to be taken on one Julian Fontaine. In a heated battle that immediately erupts, spells thrown, swords flashing, suddenly demon spiders and dragons appear. That's right, this very same assault force that was attacking Mithir City has made its way, at least a small portion of it, to Port Ekni. Arden flees, vowing that you haven't seen the last of me. And as we are left to defend, fight, and eventually triumph over these forces of evil, we win. We save the day. From the shops and the stalls, the hidden places of Port Ekni, people emerge, offering us cheers and joy and celebration for who we are and what we did. As this happens, Ivor is given the moment to answer the true question, who are you? To which he proudly declared to the world, to all of Melandria, we are the Knotbreakers. As we gain favor with the town, we quickly try to regroup, take a moment, figure out what the next steps are, and as we lead Chapter 2, our group, at the behest of Julian and the ever-familiar tug of his mask, we are sent in a direction, a way to hopefully start the next chapter of our story. And that was Chapter 2 of Saga. For those of you who didn't watch the 10 episodes of the chapter, for those of you who didn't, that weren't there, I know a lot of you were, but wow, that is a story. How's everyone feeling? How's everyone feeling about that? Let's, go ahead and get a little room feel and get their mics on. How's everyone doing?
Confused and intrigued. And that's it. That's all any of us feel.
That's it?
Yep. No, that's correct.
It.
That is
I feel concerned about our future.
Yeah, that too.
That's appropriate.
Mm-hmm. It is fair. And again, I feel like there's so much that has happened for all of us. Again, you could literally point to any single person that's on this show, even to Emmy, in terms of Aisling, in terms of Philon and her backstory. All of us have really gotten to dig our fingers deep into the lore and into the feelings of our characters. And I want to hit on those in questions and things that I've kind of got with the help of Emmy, with some that we already picked up in chat. And again, I know some of you are still adding them, and Steve is sending them to me as we get them. But to start off this evening, I actually want to start with our good friend DM Emmy over here. That's right, I'm putting you in the hot seat first.
Great.
Yeah, this is it. This is for making us fight both Mithir's fire and demon spiders and dragons. This is the revenge. Oops. It's here. It's now.
Oh, God.
No kidding. We love you so much. You have done such a good job. I think this arc of really, coming together and throwing a lot at us, but also making sure that everything has room to breathe, which I think is so important when it comes to D&D in general. You don't just want to be like, okay, info dump, and then just move on. Is there a moment in this recent chapter that you as a DM kind of sat back and maybe the players were role-playing something, discussing something amongst themselves? Was there anything that we did that you just kind of sat back and let it unfold, and kind of it was a good sit-in moment in terms of letting things kind of echo?
I am always a huge fan. This is such a stupid answer, but I am always a huge fan of camp conversations. I love to get to sit back and watch you guys interact with each other as characters. Most recently, Bran and Ivor seem to take watch together a lot, and I fucking love their interactions. Because, like, you have Ivor, who's just, like, a kind of silly dude, and then Bran, who's, like, putting in little slight jabs here and there that totally go over Ivor's head, like, being like, yeah, the chances of me drowning are far less likely than you. And Ivor's like, yeah, probably right, yeah. And then also Julian and Gwen getting to share their moment in Gwen's cask. I really loved that, like, release of emotion for each of the characters. Now lovingly called the fuck sesh. It was amazing to hear you guys just screaming fuck at the top of your lungs.
Sometimes you just need that freedom. I understand that.
Sometimes you just need a fuck sesh. Yeah.
You just need to scream into the void. It's good therapy. It's really
Don't knock it till you try it.
Don't knock it till you. Sometimes you just let out that blood curdling, ah, and it's just like, yeah, no, I needed that. That was good.
For sure.
To kind of piggyback off that answer, again, I would say I'll do Bran and Ivor first, Steve and Tyler, of your fireside discussions and kind of having those moments between each other where it's just the two of you. How much of that do you feel like you really, like, you not necessarily plan for, but you, like, have an idea of what you want to talk about before you kind of get there? Or is there anything, like, because I know sometimes for myself, it's like, yeah, I want to have a rest with Julian because, I don't know, Gwen has a secret ulterior motive of wanting to get him maybe drunk enough to remember something or to let loose. I don't know. He seems very uptight. So she has a secret ulterior motive. So, like, do either of you feel that with your characters of, like, sometimes you just have something you want to do or you plan for something in those moments?
Go ahead.
With Ivor, it's really what happens in the moment. I really don't plan it throughout that. There have been, like, other watches that I tried to fit something in specifically, but as far as with Ivor, it's usually wherever the conversation takes us, we just ride that improv of what's happening.
Yeah.
The one thing that I tried to fit in was when Bran and Gwen took a watch, and I tried to squeeze in I wonder why that's Alistair so into cooking, is because your girl is the chef at his house.
Yes.
She wasn't the one who taught him, so you know.
But from what Bran was saying, and I'm like, I wonder if that's why he's so into cooking.
Yeah, no, and I think that would have been, that is a conversation that, you know, could happen in the future if I bring her up again. But no, I definitely feel like with Gwen, that would have been something fun just because, again, you're bringing up past stuff, you're bringing up, you know, ancient lore, and, you know, weaving that in as callbacks is always fun. With Ivor, I had actually a question for you, Steve, on my sheet here, but I'll kind of work this into the conversation because it's just kind of happened naturally.
Yeah, all natural, baby, let's go.
You know, Ivor kind of, like, has this kind of, as you know, Tyler kind of put it, this improviness to him where it's literally the yes and equivalent. Like, I'm going to do thing, but I'm going to do it in the most absolutely insane way possible. What random thing can I see a cat on the ground and I grab it. Like, I see, you know, a lamppost, I want it. Do you feel like playing Ivor, there's, like, you know, again, is his motivation is it pride? Is it just this his intelligence? Is it his, you know, just optimism? Like, what do you think is kind of Ivor's, like, how he threw a child? Okay, some people would call that questionable.
Not as a weapon.
Some people would call it questionable.
To save him.
As you may defend, but still, where is that motivation come from? Because again, it's a hilarious character choice to make. But also, I think we as your party want to know, like, man, what's up? How you doing?
So, with every character I've made since my first, like after my first, because I didn't know what I was doing, I try to like challenge myself. You know, like I start character creation with kind of a flaw or gimmick, and work out from there. Like with Duffy, I was like, all right, I want to be a wild magic sorcerer, but I want to be one that literally can't control his magic and couldn't cast on command unless he absolutely needs to. Like, it's just instinctual. Like, it adds kind of a challenge to build the character around and stuff. And with Ivor, I wanted to, like, I've wanted to play a barbarian for a while. But just going in, swinging an axe, like, yeah, that can be fun, but it does get a little old sometimes, and I'm very ADHD, so I was like, if I'm gonna build a barbarian, I want him to literally just... I want him to not have a weapon, like, basically. Right. I want... You know, whenever you're, like, playing a fighter character, and you get, like, this dope weapon, you know, some people build their characters around the weapon. And, like, right. That's what they use for the whole time. Except Sideric, who throws his in the ocean.
Until they throw it into the ocean.
Yep. So I wanted that challenge of, like... I want him to like, be able to just fight with anything.
Right.
And the reasoning for that is, Ivor is an entertainer. Like, he's not really a fighter as much as he's an entertainer. And like he wants to get like the crowd going. He's used to fighting in front of a crowd, and what do crowds love? Crazy shit. So he's used to fighting in the craziest ways, and I just kind of expanded that to his whole fucking character. To where he's having a conversation and it'll just get crazy real quick.
Right. Now I do have a follow-up to this. Mm-hmm. So just this chapter alone, your wild magic be wildin'. Like even you are rolling on tables that are rolling on other tables that are referencing another table that's it's all over the place. Do you have any idea what's happening?
Nope. I mean, I'm guessing it's something about, like, the ons being activated or some, I don't know, like, the kind of spirit stuff that, you know, it goes into theory crafting, but basically, I believe we're, like, some kind of reincarnation or something of these past, like, seeker, you know, stuff like that. It's kind of been confirmed. I mean, it's been alluded to, at least. But,
I think we still probably need like 2 more sessions to like talk amongst our characters about it. Yeah. Because we're all still kind of like, that's where we ended the last session was literally like, oh, what was it? The 9.
The 9 minds.
9 minds.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like that whole thing, like that's some pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah.
So if that's true, big if true. To kind of shift this now over to Tyler, Bran, you have also had some abilities go bigger. Like again, like you used to like could see things like, ooh, I can detect magic and stuff, but now you're seeing things that you shouldn't even be able to see. Like the letters that are flying around, like you shouldn't be able to see those. And I think there was a couple of other examples of like just other magical effects that again, it's like, yeah, you're reading energy off of you. Actually, if I was going back and looking over everything, you, without I think even realizing, recognized that Philon was not, or Catan wasn't who they were, because there was a moment where Emmy described like this aura around them, and we all just, it went over our heads at the time, but legitimately they were changed and shifted. But so how is that for you in terms of like, do you have any theories or, anything to go off of character wise in terms of like, oh my God, you can see everything?
I really am intrigued on where it's going to go, like, and why it's happening. Obviously with the idea of being like the seer, like seeing the energy. And I don't remember if we talked about it in an episode, but I think talking about it coming into Port Ekney, if it was still going to be the Port Ekney that we saw, like I wanted to go through the that musical square again, because I wanted to see what the music looked like magically, because it seemed like when we came into there, it was an aura, like you like magically you were entranced in a sense. And I almost wanted to see what the magic looked like with that, because in my head, when I see magic, it's kind of like that glow of a hard edge and it kind of fades away and into nothing. Almost like as a rainbow into the next color, you would see something. So as I see multiple colors, they're either blended in and around them or it's layered on. But with the music, I almost wanted to see it as like pulsing beats that you would see around as the music's being played and like rippling out and into the area.
Like vibration.
Yeah. And as far as why I like what I'm seeing and what I'm going to be able to see in the long run, it's very interesting. I actually took a spell on this level up that should help this based on what we just encountered.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
That's intriguing.
Yeah.
That's really exciting. And again, I think it's kind of interesting that in terms of Bran gaining these abilities, again, it's like for right now, it does seem that Bran is like, things are just happening necessarily not by like design. They just keep happening. Like, again, like this, you have a fairy now. That basically can see through your darkness and follows you around and is very, attached to you, as well as being able to see as well. Like, again, the hits just keep on coming.
Yeah. Now, when Glimmer first showed up, it was like when Glimmer was around, that's when certain things started. And that at least for me in the group, but like seeing Glimmer, okay, well then the Shanku showed up. And then I was able to start seeing the magical things, and it almost seemed like it's as and around as Glimmer was around, and it's almost as if she broke through, and this is my theories here, she broke through into our plane, and I am tapping in through that magic into the path that she got over into us, or I'm pulling that off of her energy in a sense, and that's basically bolstering the boon or the on that I have to give me these sights.
I will say, just in connection to that, Bran had his first dream that would maybe kind of go into that whole seeing thing the day before you guys met Glimmer, but other than that, Glimmer was your first bed. Yeah. Glimmer was your first, like, something weird that you saw.
It's very interesting. And again, I love to kind of, again, as we continue, I can't wait to see how that manifests itself, because I have a feeling that seer is not just what you can see, but it also seems to be a little bit divination-y, looking into the future, you can already see, like, what's happening in Mythir City, like, so it seems like that might be something that gets poked at later, and I can't wait to see what Big Brain Bran has in store. Bran's head just gets bigger, like the card.
Just becomes mastermind.
Speaking of weird things on our heads, Josh, so we've definitely, and again, in terms of people with things on face. Boy howdy. Julian is here, and he's continuing to be here and do the thing in terms of trying to, like, again, remember about their past and, you know, things like that. Throughout this first chapter and into the second chapter, all the way up here until the end, you have had to take this character of Julian through the eyes of other people and what other people have told you about who you were and what you were. At the end of the last episode, for the first time, you had your own memory.
Yes.
What was that like as a player to kind of like have that moment where, again, it's your own character's idea of self in this type of story, in this type of campaign?
I was quite excited about that because I've been struggling to find my inner Julian, right? Like I kind of gave him a voice, I gave him a personality, and then it kind of devolved a little bit in my mind, at least. And I haven't really been able to find that even, you know, line where I want to be with him. So these extra memories kind of give me the opportunity to adjust that and give a new Julian, a more refined Julian going forward. Which in the last episode I did give a little bit of it, but I don't know if it really was quite noticeable yet, but it will progress.
So you feel like, again, the whole everything's fine, I'm doing great, like that in of itself is a mask then, and as we
definitely
start to get more of Julian, that's gonna chip away.
Yeah, I mean, Julian wakes up and doesn't remember anything, only his name, right? So his personality is manufactured based on what other people are telling him he was like, right? So now he's getting his own memories. That personality will adjust and change as we get more.
Yeah, no, and I think it's kind of interesting as well to not know what's coming next with that, because again, it's kind of, I think, probably very you based in terms of, do we find someone from your past and that triggers a flood of memories? Do we keep doing what we're doing and just keep trying to track down the Saga? Is because again, it seems that out of kind of everyone here in the group, you definitely have this more divine pull, I would say, than the rest of the party, even though we don't know if the voices in the mask are divine in nature, but you still have like a calling. Again, you get a tug to go in a direction. So, you know, the rest of us are just out here. So how do you feel like that moving forward will manifest itself in terms of, you know, as you remember who more you are, the conflict with the masks and trying to come to some sort of understanding with them, agreement?
I have no idea yet. They're still being very obstinate, and it's hard to, you know, like, I'm enjoying being sassy with them right now, right? Right. You know, but how that will mature and how that will, you know, that divine pull will develop Julian and how that will kind of come together. I'm winging it, baby. I have no idea.
There was a moment, and again, we don't know their names, so it's hard to label them, but I'm going to say Gremlin voice, the one that's all like, oh, yes, Julian, oh, you know, naughty, naughty, like whatever the fuck that is. I love it. Please don't change it. I love it. With that voice in particular, again, it feels like, you know, again, they said something on an episode when I was looking back and trying to figure out where to take all this. There was a moment where they said, I won't tell you anything that you already don't have the answers to or already don't know. Or
I
something
won't give you the
lines.
answers to the answers to the questions you already know the answers to, essentially.
That. And I feel like that's very important to kind of like tying that all in, because it seems like they're like, yes, I'm being the worst kind of evil, lawful. You have to figure it out through a series of quests that are vague, and I'm not going to give you any hints, but I'm still helping you technically.
I like that voice, and I've been trying to integrate that personality within the mask to come out in my spells. because the spells are powered by the the mask and the patron and whatever. So like, there's a few times I've tried to mimic the voice. I haven't done the best job, but
I appreciate that, Josh. Oh my god, I had no idea.
I think that's a fun. And again, I love whenever players can flavor magic and stuff like that based around their characters and choices. I think there's a reason that Gwyn drinks to heal. It's just it's part of that overall choice, and so I think it's both fascinating and honestly so ballsy to just pick a character that has this many twists and turns and still come into it and make us fall in love with this weird, really hot masked man that's playing a rainbow piano. Like, god dang. Like, come on, are you kidding me? He's got like a half like burnt mask on and he's playing a piano and he's like, what is that?
Hair is flowing and shit.
Hair's flowing and shit.
I gotta say, I am not a fan of players, especially myself, giving a DM a character and going, I don't know, lost my memory, you make it up. However, that is not what happened. Josh wrote pretty much a novel for me. And I had to take it and tweak a few things, and there's definitely stuff that Josh doesn't know. He knows quite a bit, but I think I've given him some stuff to chew on where he's just not really sure what's happening.
Yep, I've got a foundation, but that's about it.
It's been a real interesting balance watching you work that line, because there are things that you picked up on, and then there's the vast majority of things you're like, I have no idea what the fuck's happening.
I have no idea. Yep.
And it's so fun to see kind of all of our characters try to again, we don't necessarily know what Emmy has in store for us, but it seems for the most part that as far as the characters that we created, these abilities, these gifts, the things that are being imbued by the stones, us, our past, whatever it may be, no one's upset by any of the choices that have been made because it does seem to align with us, and that just goes to show how well Emmy knows our characters and kind of, I think, how we built them. So thank you, Emmy, for that. I'm going to ask myself a question now because I did have some Gwyn questions and wanted to at least address some of them. But it was the one I have here is, during this chapter, you revealed the truth about yourself as a shape changer to the group and all of your abilities that revolve around it. Now that your party has had time to process, do you think you will use this ability more casually? I think so. Maybe in subtle ways. Like, again, I could feel like Gwyn could wake up one morning and her hair's just shorter. For no reason. It's just a little shorter that day, and then wake up and it's longer again the next day. Maybe there's a random streak of green in it, or a random streak of purple one day, just subtle cosmetic changes, I think, just to kind of play with it a little bit.
I love it.
Even maybe changing the nails to all one, different nails, finding little ways to just kind of tweak certain, and maybe again, it's one thing a day. It's nothing drastic. We're not going full, I'm dyeing my hair blue and, it's not a phase mom, we're not going that hard rebel, but, no, I do think there'll be a little bit more, subtly changing a little bit more each day to turn into the Peacekeeper Lulu. That's the ultimate goal at the end of it. People are going to be like, oh my god, you look like a Lil. And it's like, just...
I get that all the time.
Always
get
that.
And then we fully go around and we restart the cycle to the prequel show, and it was actually you the whole time.
It was me
A vicious cycle.
Bad the whole time.
All along.
All right, so thank you for that. Now I want to ask something to the group. This is for everybody. This is for all the marbles here. The thing to talk about, I think that the main question, if I bring it to the group, the first thing to kind of address, and this is for all of us, we have a name. We have branded ourselves the Knot Breakers. I know that this was a decision that was kind of kicked around, and again, in the back room and kind of discussing and things like that. Ivor said it in the moment last game and kind of let us be declared this. there's something in the name that y'all are excited about, you think that represents us as a group, that, you know, you were drawn to it. Like, why the Knot Breakers? And I can start by just saying, number one, sounds cool as hell. So that's my answer. Not really, but you get the gist. So we'll start with you, Tyler. Like, what do you think about the Knot Breakers?
I love the name. We went through probably dozens of,
long list.
with this work. But with the name, the Knot Breakers, like the art that could come with that is like outstanding. Like,
we gotta get a symbol.
So like now our symbol, like, you know, what could that look like? Because obviously a knot, especially the Celtic knot, like how would you image that breaking? Is it a fissure? Is it like it's a very interesting
Is it one
concept.
strand that's just out of whack, but
so
therefore
like
the whole thing?
I've been trying to like just rolling through my head like what, like obviously, you know, Emmy might have just Emmy's fantastic, so it might have the image like in her head immediately, like. And
I do need to address
with the
this
help
in chat.
on trying to get that going.
Yeah, real quick, Tyler, I need to address this in chat. Chat, do not worry. We almost, maybe, possibly considered using rock liquors.
Nope.
I will say that
As a
Rage
joke.
quit. I
that
would've rage
rock
quit.
liquors was always a joke. It was a joke by me. It was a running joke. There was maybe 1% of the time where I was like, maybe we should be the rock liquors, but it immediately dropped off.
I feel like that, you know, rock liquors is our like throwaway name. That's when we're at the bar and they kick us out and they're like, who are you people? So we know you're barred for life. Yeah, we're the rock liquors.
Rock liquors, asshole.
Yeah.
And we're just all sitting there just licking rocks.
Don't clip that.
Everyone keep a pocket rock. Everyone find your pocket rock.
Yeah, pocket rocks. That's what we
Wrong
lick.
pocket. This was a turd. My bad.
Hey, pocket sand.
Oh, that's
Pocket
not a rock.
sand, not in this campaign. Pocket rocks, baby.
Great pocket
Not
rock,
in
the new
Saga.
shirt idea.
Cut it, print it, throw it out there.
Damn it! This is Ivor's old socks. God, again.
Oh, they are good, right? It makes sense.
Listen, I love that because otters also have a favorite rock. So, you know, who doesn't?
They're so
who
cute.
doesn't? Who doesn't love that? Anyway, but yeah, no, I do agree with you, Tyler, in that the art, the name, it's just it does kind of represent, you know, again, a knot breaking and what that looks like. So
The
that's
symbolism.
really exciting. Yeah, the symbology. Josh, what about you? What are your thoughts on the knot breakers?
I don't know. I was just happy it wasn't the rock liquors, honestly.
You know, valid again, valid, very valid.
I'm running with it. I think the last game I stood up and screamed the name without actually discussing it with anyone. So, I'm just happy one was chosen. Yep.
You know, yeah, I can appreciate that. I think again, I also, as we get to Emmy, we'll kind of hit on it. But real quick to Steve, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, like I said, we were in our private chat. We were throwing names back and forth. I think Ray suggested a list of like 10 names, and they were all good, but it wasn't quite vibing. It was. And then I think I suggested like cycle breakers once we were talking about this cycle and how it's obviously changed. And I'm like, or the knot breakers, which I really like cycle breakers, but it doesn't roll off the tongue as well as knot breakers. And you know the knot with the
and we had
whole
like the broken
intro.
circle, and we were coming up with all these symbolisms of like, you know,
like
some type
The
of
endless knot.
Yeah, with the end of the lore video, you know, with it being an endless knot, I'm like, knot breakers. And as soon as I thought of it, I'm like, that's got something. That's got something. I like it a lot.
Yeah,
but you know, deep down in the heart, Ivor will always think of us as rock lickers. It is okay.
It's again the unofficial, the very unofficial. We'll deny it to this day. That's very unofficial.
That is okay.
Name.
I've already got it.
But to you, Emmy, now, again, we kind of just threw it on you like a little bit. Like there was not a lot of planning to kind of be like, hey, this is the direction we think we might go. But as the DM, in terms of the name of the group, what are your initial reactions? Does our name now change any part of the story? Is it more a firm part of the story? Like, how does that play in this early?
I think that it's hard to give too much information about the legitimacy of the name, because y'all have asked me, does it make sense? I love it. And I want to say, regardless of whether or not it's true in the end, as far as like, were you guys the ones to break the cycle, yes or no? Regardless of whether or not that's the case, it is a fan-fucking-tastic name. And I'm really glad you guys came up with it. I love it.
I know we get into shrug territory the more it's like, is this gonna be the final thing? Like, we don't want to go there. But at the same time, I do think it's interesting that, and you've actually been doing this as a DM, and I'm gonna call this out here as we move into kind of this next little section. You are great at tying knots, it would appear. Because you had freaking Falon all the way back as an old man in a hut, like from the very
episode 2.
Yeah, like right there. Literally walked out the door from Willow and was like, "I'm gonna go this direction."
Yep.
Yeah. Like, ma'am.
Yeah, so actually Josh helped me with that without realizing. I had it planned from the beginning that Phelon was going to be there. But Josh mentioned in the first episode that he was keeping a Julian journal. And I was like, oh my God, I should keep a Phelon journal. And I now have a pretty fledged out journal of Phelon's that is a timeline from pretty much when she was about 4 years old on up, starting with like a really, really terribly written journal entry with misspellings and everything to current.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so thank you, Josh. You helped me do that, and it was really fun to put her in different spots and watch you guys and go, I hope they don't figure this out before it's time.
Yeah, I do feel like we kind of, I don't want to say forced, but it was definitely like, what are you hiding at this point? We're literally here with the Peacekeeper. What are you? And they're like, oh, shocker.
Her guilt forced her hand. Her own personal guilt definitely did. So I actually have a quick question about that. Did any of you have any actual, like, really real suspicions that Catan wasn't who he said he was?
I did, but for the wrong reason. And it goes back to when you did describe Catan as glowing magically. I'm like, and you said transmutation.
Which was not a hint. That was not a hint.
Which I was like, who is this motherfucker? That's a shape changer. That's an illusion or something. But then you're like, oh, I didn't understand. It's just like his magic, like his book or whatever.
I was trying to describe his book.
Oh, but it never left the back of my mind where it's like, I don't know that this guy is this guy.
Tyler?
Mine just plays off of the dumb, like, why is this, like, nobody, like, can't fight, can't hold his own, like, being tasked with coming with us. And I understand that it's been explained, he got us into the cavern and all that other stuff. But, like, in the moment, it just kind of felt like, I'm going to send my ward with you and make sure that you don't get in any trouble, wink, wink. And that's exactly how I felt it when it all like went down initially. And I'm like, I'm sus. I'm keeping my eye on this person.
Which is hilarious, Tyler, because that is so far off. He didn't send him for that, like, a bad reason. He wanted Phelon to be able to witness what was going on. But, like, I will do that with other characters. If you guys go on a mission or a job or something, the person who hires you, it's not uncommon in that world to be like, hey, I'm sending along this person just to, make sure things are on the up and up.
I if I'm honest on my end, on the counter of this, no, I want you to know, Emmy, the entire time I saw this poor little Milo Thatch looking boy. This
I
little
fed into
wimpy
that
wet
so
noodle,
hard.
This little wimpy noodle of a nerdy, and my heart was like, I will immediately die for you. I don't know what's going on with you or why we have this bond, but God, I see
Sweet
nothing
summer
wrong about
child.
you. I see you are perfect in every way. I have no idea why you are just turning into this weird, elven woman. It's probably my fault.
I thought it was.
I probably am doing something to you to make this happen, so I'm to blame. I'm always a monster. Like, I'm really to put this person on a pedestal, so when you dropped it, you broke me for a bit. I think you can even go back and watch it. You broke me for a bit. I was like,
I legit thought that when Phelon changed during the Shan Ku fight, I thought it was your magic going wild.
same. I thought maybe I was exerting by accident, ooh, turn into this person, and it was happening. Like I was almost like casting disguise self on somebody else.
Yeah.
That's where my head was at, because I'm like, this poor sweet innocent child who's casting really high
That's
level
what I was
spells.
hoping for.
I'm completely disarmed. I'll do everything. What do you want, you poor sweet beautiful baby?
Yeah.
And I gotta say, there was a moment after the fight with the Shanku when Phelon was very scared because she had been exposed and she didn't understand how or why. Nobody's ever changed her before. She's always had control over her visage. So for this to happen, she was actually genuinely terrified, but Gwen has a huge fear of people being afraid of her. So after that happened, I was like, oh, this is so
insecurities,
mean.
Insecurities unite. It was so great. It was beautiful. No, I think that was one of the bigger reveals of chapter 2. Very well done.
So fun. I had no idea how it was going to happen. That was unplanned.
and then again, I go back and I rewatch because I'm like, okay, let's go back and just make sure. I'm like, oh my god, the whole time, it's like Mrs. Doubtfire, just where you're like, man, it was literally just like staring us in the face.
Yeah.
Didn't even go over. So well done indeed. Thank you for creating such a complicated character. Let's go ahead and go. Let's see here. In chat, just so you know, we do see your questions. Steve is still sending them to me. So if you've asked one in chat, know that we do see that. We thank you again. You can get those redemptions either if you're live in Twitch with us, you can redeem them in our Twitch chat and they'll pop up right here. There. Pop up right there. If you're in our Discord at discord.com/forgeoflore, discord.com/forgeoflore. One more time.
Not it.
Discord.com/.
Discord.forgeoflore.com.
That's better. Thank you. I know who we are.
Forge of Discord.
Forgeoflore.com. Forge of Lore. Just go to forgeoflore.com.
I need to get all these domains now. Thanks for that.
Let me just go to forgeoflore.com. God damn it. Go to Forge.
Speaking of going somewhere,
Amazing.
Yes. Going to want to go to Ivor, to Steve. Grizza seems to keep popping up in conversation and in other people's lives, and you're finding out all kinds of things like,
That's
hey, she seems important. Do you plan, do you think that she has to share more about who she is with us and
definitely stuff that Ivor didn't know, and they were close. Grizza was, you'll probably find out, Grizza was Ivor's kinda almost mentor, after the tattoos and shit. So to find out that this character that is so integral to not only Ivor's story, but also the Nizlon clan isn't even from the desert, kind of blew my mind. And I'm very intrigued. Ivor's got lots of questions for Grizza now. Ivor wants to know everything. So, you know, I'm very eager to make it to Grizza and find out more, not just about her, but about the clan and what's been going on the past decade.
Do you think there's a chance before we get there that Ivor's gonna want to let us know about his history with his clan, or is that something that
I feel like it's starting to get to that point where he needs to start sharing stuff. I was kind of expecting it to come up once we started heading that way, but you know, we keep getting waylaid by jackassery. So, who knows when we'll make it to the desert now?
the world is ending? I get it. What is time?
BRB, world's ending.
Yeah,
World's ending. No, I get that. So I'm kind of excited with Ivor because, again, it seems like with his wild magic being wild magicking and, you know, who is mystery blue haired dude? Like all these different things in Ivor's past that keep getting surprised. Like, surprise, Ivor, you were surprised.
Yeah.
Is there anything that, as of right now, maybe you even said offhandedly, that you kind of really hope that it could be surprised, actually real?
Something it was just mentioned in chat. So when creating the character, Emmy and I were talking about the kind of folk tales of the Nizlon clan and stuff. And I've always kind of been hinting at it, but it came to the forefront very quickly. And that is, I came up with, he was told that demon spiders live on the underside of Melandria, like upside down. And like, that's, you don't want to dig too deep. He's mentioned a couple of times, oh, don't dig too deep. That's where trouble is.
Yep.
So you don't want to dig too deep because that's where demon spiders come out. So, like, when she said demon spiders start coming through the fucking portal, that's why I was like, wait, what? What? And she kept being like on the side, she's like, you know, when are you gonna like
you should
start talking about
like
the legends and stuff? Like, when you guys start dropping that shit, I'm like,
I was trying to get him to do it.
Hasn't come up. And then she drops this. I'm like, I fucking see you. I see you.
Well, I think we're excited to hear about them because, again, it does seem that tall tales might actually benefit us.
Yeah.
As a group. Excited to see that with Ivors. Thank you for kind of sharing that. I know it's again, it's when you have a character that's built on random chaos.
Yes.
Kind of hard to plan, but also fun when things happen. So
yeah,
understand that. To Josh.
Yes.
You know, in chapter 2, we've gotten like a couple of snippets, like I mentioned about Julian's past. Mm-hmm. About how much right now would you say that you already know versus how much you're like still completely in the dark and confused about?
So I know like the framework. I wrote the framework, and then
we can get into shrug territory if needed,
right.
But again,
yeah, well, no, like it's not shrug. It's just I don't know. If I were to guess, I would say my knowledge is maybe only 30 or 40% of, yeah. Because I gave, despite me writing quite a bit, I gave Emmy a lot of writing material for her to add, you know, a lot of gaps. Right. And so far from what I've seen and experienced, those gaps have been filled. And I just don't know what that ratio is. I would say a safe would be about 40%. I know.
Yeah. With Julian, again, it's been more than hinted at this point that Bard was definitely back there in the past. We were definitely barding it up. Again, you, as far as I know, still committed to Warlock and kind of going down that path. Do you feel that since Julian had this bardic past, you yourself have to multi-class into that? Or do you think that it's more of a, I can flavor my Warlock spells to be more bardy? Like, how where do you find that balance? And is that something that you're thinking about as we continue to kind of the story?
I have been thinking about it. From a player perspective, I think it would be inefficient to start Bard now. It would take me at least 3 more levels for me to get to a point where the Bard is being effective. Mm-hmm. I would love to add Bard. And from like a Julian perspective, I think it would add a lot of flavor to the story. But I think I'm going to end up going that route where, like you said, I add flavor to Warlock, you know, using my instrument or whatever. Maybe add some proficiency and performance, you know, but still be a Warlock all the way.
Yeah, and I mean, there's always just the option of learning an instrument, like just actually like spending the sessions to, you know, try to roll and get better, and, you know, not necessarily taking a level in Bard, but you can still like remember how to play the piano. Why not? Or, you know, learning how to, you know, sing and do stuff like that. I think that that's viable. And there's also feats, you know, I think there's like even a few like feats where you can like pick up just like a Bard spell or two just to be like, so there's always options there. But again, I kind of like how you're not saddling yourself with Bard just because past Julian, that was his bag.
Oh, no.
Well, I think it's also... Sorry, go ahead, Josh.
As you get to know Josh as a person, you know, I just do what I want. I never feel forced to do anything.
Oh, a word?
Well, I think the concept is interesting that his character before he lost his memory must have been a bard. And now as he kind of grows and tries to find his footing as a person, like his class is a storytelling device now. Like, maybe he stays with Warlock because it just fits who he is now better than Bard did in the past. You never know. I love that you have that option, Josh, to play.
It's always fun to kind of, again, make that type of character where it's, you know, maybe not the traditional way to do something, but again, it also, again, it's your, like Viv says, it's your character, you know, and it's your journey, and I'm excited. That's one thing, again, I think all of us like about Julian is the mystery and the what ifs and the big swings that you just kind of have to make assumptions and go from there. So again, thank you for bringing that character to us. Again, a complicated character, but you always do it so well.
It is very complicated. My next character is going to be very simple.
You make him very fun. Make him very fun.
Yes.
So it's
I appreciate that.
Always a joy to get to see Julian play and figure out more about how he's going to sassily make his way through the world.
I always love that.
More. Oh, when Julian sass comes out, it's the best. Julian sass. Oh man.
Julian sass is just Josh sass. That's all.
Yep.
You know, but you know, play to your strengths. But we played to the strengths, right? So, you know, I love that. All right. To the next topic. Tyler,
you want to take a break?
Oh,
it's about that time. We got 3 minutes to lose.
Yeah, we'll save this, I guess, for when we come back. We'll come back with Tyler, and then once we do that, I have the quickest questions, like a rapid fire round, and then we're going to get to audience questions. So we are going to take a quick bio break, quick time to go out and grab yourself a beverage, a snack, talk to your cat, stretch your legs, whatever you need to do in this time. We will be back in just a moment. So yeah, we will see you very soon. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Forge of Lore, where we tell stories through Dungeons and Dragons. Again, I am here with our lovely cast of Saga, and we have our lovely DM, Emmy, and we are answering your questions and discussing the things related to the conclusion of chapter 2. That's right, we've completed the second chapter of our turning into quite a fascinating story. The number keeps going up. What does that mean?
Saga, if you would.
The saga, if I would. And we
Saga of
have
the
been answering
Nutcrackers.
questions for the past hour, diving deep into the characters' motivations. Ivor talked about how his wild magic is, still uncontrollable, but something that, he's excited to continue to play with. We got a little bit deeper motivations into Julian and where he sees, as he uncovers more of his past and his memories. We saw Bran kind of going through his, own magical transformation. Gwen and all of the, shape changing and things that were revealed this season. And even to Emmy hitting us with, again, the feed-on switch up, the turn, the portal demon spider dragons led by tiefling gag of the campaign. Like, we've been going through it all. And we want to thank you for being here with us. We're going to pick right back up, though. I was just about to ask our good friend Tyler down here, Bron, a question. And again, this is a question that I actually kind of personally have, but also I know that it is one that's kind of out there. Again, Bron's been what I would say conserved and a little bit more, I don't want to say indecisive, but more oh, whatever happens, happens. Well, that's the way it is.
Well,
And, we love that, but we did see a bit of rebellion and a little bit of some sort of decisiveness when it came to not telling our party about the scry orbs in the, Peacekeeper's office. It seemed again, it was this very moment of anger, maybe frustration, or general morality of choosing what you thought was right in the situation. But to that, do you think we'll see more of this rebellious, kind of decisive, making some bigger swings, Bran?
Sorry, the dog's talking to me. Yes and no.
You speak with animals?
hi, dog. How weird that.
I think so, but in that moment, it was frustration. I mean, everyone was talking with each other, and,
Including the dog.
Including the dogs.
Go on.
She just wanted out of this room.
I think she's got to go outside.
Oh boy.
Which she never has to do a mid-show, but the thing was, we were in the middle of it, and we weren't getting answers. And in that moment, Bran was like, I am so sick and tired of being sick and tired. Just not getting straight answers, not someone withholding something. And in that moment, I'm like, if they know there are scryballs in here, they're gonna shut up. They're gonna steel trap closed. And little did I know that they saw the scryballs, but it was just the Peacekeeper gave his moment of symbolism of, I'm gonna leave the room so you guys feel like you can talk. If I would have said there are scryballs in here, that defeats the purpose of the Peacekeeper even leaving the room. And but in order to get the straight answer, it was just a boiling point for him of we're only going to get the answers if this is the case. So that's where we went. But that was a learning moment for Bran, and it may happen more often, but it's gonna be. I don't know. It probably
Almost
won't be.
It's almost like the Hulk, where you hit your limit and you're like, okay, enough's enough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make the call here. No one else. Everyone. Ivor's tossing another child. Let's just roll the dice.
I will say, in that particular moment, Bran, if certain things hadn't happened, you might have doomed the entire party.
Yeah, and
Y'all might have been fucking TPK.
I am
Oh,
going to
boy.
pivot now to Emmy on that and to
Uh-oh.
back away just for a second now because, again, let Tyler 1 go take care of the dog, but also you brought it up, Emmy. Boy, howdy. Again, I'm going to keep saying that because it is just the truth. You have thrown a lot at the group over this
Oops.
chapter, and by a lot, I mean, whoa, if you like lore, this is the chapter for you. I'm telling you, man.
Forging that lore, girl.
It felt like there were days where we were just like sitting in a hot tub of lore, just, absolutely just
So
basking in it. Just stewing in it.
Yuck.
About how close were we when facing Mira for the first time? About how off in decisions and, like, would you say choices were we from just absolute being so screwed?
If you had decided to fight her, 100% probably would have died. I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Even with the
Yeah,
peacekeeper
I
there, her plus her companions plus all of the demon dragons and spiders would not have been good.
Yeah.
I figured you guys would get the hint that this was not a fight for today, and you did. Ivor didn't,
did
but
lead-
Steve did.
No,
To be
I was gonna
clear,
say, that
Steve did, Ivor didn't. Yeah.
That did lead, though, to one of, like, again, in the moment, I think Gwen's very like, the fuck are you doing, you idiot? But also, me as the player, Ray, I'm like, I really love this decision to just be like, no, we can take him. It's like, my guy, like, please come with us. Don't. But at the same time, like, what a great moment, though, in terms of, like, I truly believe that I'm that guy. I'm gonna 1v1 the
Yep.
entire evil army.
I have a question for you, Ray, on that note. What was your thought process when I sent you the letter after Mythier City got attacked?
Oh my god.
You know what? I think, if I'm gonna be 100% honest, like we're even like in the moment and as it's happening and stuff, Gwen had like there's a moment where you just kind of snap. And I feel like that was just constantly building and building this chapter, and it was thing after thing, and what's going on there? Why can I read this person's mind and know about their past? Why am I having visions all the freaking time?
Everybody
Why is
recognizes me.
Everyone recognizes me everywhere I go. Literally, it's like, you look familiar. Bitch, I've never met you before. Why the hell? Who the hell? And to kind of get this letter and to be like, oh, hey, by the way, I am here and I'm going to be I'm so happy and life is just so great for me. Look, I'm even here's my recipes because I know that you'll probably try to make it, because you're like that. And it's like, you dare taunt me, you dare flirt this absolute gut punch to me. Oops. And I feel like Gwen in that moment needed somewhere to direct her anger, and we knew her name, we knew her face, and the magic behind it. In my mind in the moment, it's like, this, listen here, you skank, you are I will cut you in the alley, meet me
so
behind the bar.
It was so good.
I will be coming for you, and I will make sure that I will hunt you down to fucking going. I don't even remember half of what I said, if I'm honest.
Gut you like a fish.
In the moment, I think it was literally just the rage of
Talk about
listen.
a good moment to sit back as a DM and watch something play out. That was so well done. That letter, I felt it. I felt the rage.
So but that also, in the hindsight of that, again, Gwen is like, yeah. F you. But then Gwen is also like, with my training and everything, fuck, I gave them my name. Fuck, they know what I look like. Fuck, that I've totally just, yep, cool. Yep, they know they can scry me, they can find me, she can literally do whatever she needs to. So did I just literally tell the most evil thing potentially in this realm to go fuck itself? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And we're not ready if she were to show up right now.
Nope.
So, something to think about. Definitely going to be looking at some magic shops, seeing if we can bolster our defenses. Speaking of that to the group, though, the final question I wanted to ask for everyone is going into chapter 3. Again, where do you see yourself kind of wanting to explore more of? Is there anything character-wise? Again, everyone leveled up. Is there any new abilities that you want to tap into? Is there anything in regards to just where we've kind of landed at this point in the story that, you know, you've got to hook in over here? Like, again, I'm still holding on to where's Ivor's love? You know, like, we got to find who, like, Ivor's, like, we got to find that. I want to know that. What is up with that? So
probably just groupie.
Yeah, maybe, but also could be very hella important. So I will start actually with you, Steve. What are you thinking moving into chapter 3? What are your thoughts, feelings?
Like I said before, I am very eager to get to the desert. I want to know more about Grizza, more about what the Nizlan's been up to, what her mysterious message about someone coming for the Nizlan. Ivor is a little bit worried about them. They can handle themselves, but Ivor a little scared, you know? Other than that, I'm just excited to explore other regions of this world and give me that lore. Gimme. Yum.
Fair enough.
Okay.
What about you, Josh? How you feeling moving into chapter 3?
Oh, you're muted.
Concerned is what I was going to say.
Concerned.
Fair.
Very concerned. End of chapter 2 out of however many chapters we have.
Mm-hmm.
Julian already almost died.
Yeah.
Josh tried to be a barbarian, so, I mean...
Yeah.
To be
expected.
But I did almost die, and we have several chapters left, so I need to be careful from a personal character standpoint, and also concerned about what we're actually facing. So, just general worry. But also, like, from a player's, that's from a character standpoint. From a player standpoint, excited, happy. I'm happy I have a group of friends to hang out with. Happy that we get to hang out every week. Happy that we get to put our phones down and just have some FaceTime, and I'm excited for it.
Not a phone in sight. Just people living in the moment.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I'm very excited to see again Julian's continued journey, as well as, you know, just again, like you said, honestly, it's a lot of concern for, like, are we going to be able to save the world before it kills us, or are we, you know, where are we in the grand scheme of what's being said right now? Tyler, to you, what are you feeling about that in terms of kind of where we are in our story and kind of what you think moving forward for Bran and just the journey?
Where we are in the story is concerning. Like, what's happening? Why is it happening? Where is it happening? Who is it happening? Just trying to figure out, like, the actual whys to it, but also to us, the whys to us. We keep getting these little niblets of who we are, you know, these 9, and trying to figure out how that works into our pasts. And, you know, is the past that I remember really my past? Or did I have amnesia like Julian, and then I'm like, now maybe we all went through that. You know, there's several things that are running through both Tyler and Brand's mind as far as, are my experiences real, or is as a past life something gonna happen?
It's almost, it almost feels, to kind of agree with that, it feels a little bit like, if we're being reincarnated, we are still our own individuals that just get these memories? Or are we just reliving the same life over and over and over and over again? You know, like, is the reset like 49 years or whatever, like however old maybe the trio is at this point? Like, there's a lot of that question. Again, what I found interesting, all of you were confirmed 100%. Yes, you were on the council, and Gwen got a
Probably.
Probably.
I still think it has something to do with Phelon. Like, it's trying to choose which one of you or something. I don't know.
Well, what if you're both the same thing? It's not necessarily one's one or the other, but between the two of you, you're both of the same.
Maybe we were like a twin mind of the nine or something like that.
Yeah.
I actually, that's something that is, again, because
theories, but can you split an on though?
Never tried. I'm willing to try.
No.
It's
I
not
never
really
can
a
cut
thing.
anything in half.
Yeah.
It's not really a thing, splitting. But no. Sorry.
I think it also again just continues to be so fun in the world that Emmy's built, because it is so complicated, and it is very like, why does this random person matter that, you know, apparently is in all of our lives that we had no idea, you know? Or, you know, even like little subtle mentions. I know that there's been little things where even like, again, Steve and Josh and even Tyler, myself, where we like realize that you've said something, and then we go, oh wait, this isn't what I thought. This is whoa, that's what they're,
Wait, what?
So yeah, you've done a great job of that, and again, it's a crazy world.
I've got another question. Sorry, go ahead, Tyler.
Well, in expanding on that, as far as what Brand's thinking going into the next chapter is, Brand left home on Ashling's wish and did not ask for approval, and has sent at this point 2 messages back, and I haven't heard anything.
You've only sent one.
I've sent 2. The first one was checking in. The second one was dangers coming, which was just literally last night, as far as the game is concerned.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
But,
well, it does take time, and also your clan is out in the middle of nowhere and may not have access to messenger birds.
Yeah, but so with Brand, he's well, I guess at this point he's seeing how things are coming in and out and how they are in the real world, and such, and knowing that within the clan there are people who have gone into town to get certain things, and just, are they that mad at me that they're not going to reach out?
Get shunned.
Yeah, or are at this point, are they in trouble? Like, because of all that. Now, that's what's going through Brand's mind. As far it's more or less kind of on the same side as Ivor of getting to Grizza, but he knows something's going on there. Yeah. But, you know, if that's happening there, I wonder if this is happening here. And if it's happening in Port Eckney, where we're at, you know, this is widespread in who all's in danger, and like, I still have family over there, so there is that concern of, oh shit, how's everything, you know, that's in the back of Brand's mind as far as that.
Yeah. I know there's a lot to, I think, all of us to think about in terms of like, again, what those futures hold and how the world is. Because again, you have to think like, okay, if these things are just going out and attacking randomly or attacking like major cities, does that mean the smaller cities that have like no defense, they're just gone now? We don't know how fast the world is changing around us or who we may even know would be. Like, I have no idea if they're already at Aldonia. They could be.
I've got a theory. So
Shoot.
when they showed up at the capitals, she was like, "Oh, the magic." Like, she almost seemed like she could sense how much different the magic was here. So I wonder if they're not targeting magical hubs.
Larger
So not necessarily larger population of magic, but maybe where the magic is inertly stronger.
Rip the Sherlock tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I imagine there's a sizable force there, but that would definitely be a target. Yeah, it's definitely weird to think about, and kind of to bring it back to you, Amy, in terms of chapter 3 and what you expect, or what you're maybe planning. I know you're not going to give us everything, but it seems like, again, in game, we're like 2 weeks of like knowing each other, maybe, like, and it's, you know, the clock does seem to be ticking, the number continues to change. Is it safe to say that we are on a timer? And if so, like,
how we doing?
What are we doing?
How we doing? How we doing?
How we doing?
I
Bad,
will
good?
say, on that account, if things, because things are going on in the background, right? That you guys don't know about.
The world is the world.
If I'm feeling a little bit like you guys are gonna not make a deadline, I have several different devices that I can employ to push you in the right direction or pull you in the right direction.
The tug job.
Ugh,
I'm calling it a tug job.
We're not calling it that. Mm-mm.
Anyway, but no.
The mask pulled you off. Sorry.
We're not doing that. Continues to make the better joke.
Yep.
No, so, but with the future, again, it's one of those things that I think as players where you're like, yes, we need to go help Sid. Hey, yes, we need to do that. But also, like, you know, if we spend a night getting potions and shopping around, are we going to, like, is the world going to end? Because
No, I don't think the world's going to end. But I'm sure there's... This leads into my question that I want to ask you guys, but we've talked about a reset being a thing. We don't know exactly what that is, but why didn't it happen if apparently it's been done for less?
Yes.
Any theories?
It seems like, for me, this seems like, depending on time and happenstance, of the 9, we've already identified 7.5. So, yeah, I think it was 7.5. So, because, you know, Gwen and Phelon are on the math. But, this may be the first time in Melandria's history where maybe everyone's here at the same time. Like, all 9 members, or the timelines have lined up, the magic has happened, Julian got jettisoned to a different time for this reason, to, like, literally make it so that he's with everyone. And so the knot broke because all 9 members are here. That'd be my theory.
Anyone else have a...
I've got one, and that's on the whatever Sidhe was doing. And I only say this simply because the order of events. Sidhe was about to get arrested. He went off, and with the message of if we're gonna do it, we've got kind of like, if we're gonna do it, we've got to do it now. And so what, to me, it feels like they potentially, the powers to be that hit the reset button were separated. Someone stole that Staples, that was easy button from them.
Mm-hmm. Just the reset button. Hey, the thing that
that was easy. Yeah. I have a feeling like they got separated from that magic or from that switch or whatever. I think that is ultimately what happened. But in the meantime, I think that veil being lifted is also what brought Mira here. I think they're connected.
The breaking of the first Karen that was blocked, like that right there messed up the reset or something, even like equivalent to like what you said even Sidhei was doing. I like that. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
That is good.
It did not happen because we are not breakers and we break not. Easy peasy. Next
Easy
question.
peasy. What about you, Josh? Do you have any wild theories or any like stabs at where the heck this all might be going?
No, not really. Honestly, I think the fact that Julian was fighting with the gods indicates that we were trying to stop this cycle before, right?
Yeah.
But we just couldn't get it done. Obviously the cycle is broken. We were talking earlier about Bran seeing magic, and I was thinking instead of things just completely breaking apart, I'm wondering if over time whatever protections were there have started to crack, and those cracks started to leak magic out, right? So it wasn't like an immediate fissure, it was more of degradation over a long period of time, and at this point it's finally shattered, the straw that broke the camel's back, and then it's been designed for us to all be here to save the world.
It is.
But yeah,
that ties in, especially with like when you see like again, Emmy, you said the name of the ruins that we were at, but this consortium, I think, was something.
The Anya Nona Basilica.
Yeah, that
one. Basilica, I like that word. So, I mean, the fact that it was a ruin, and what we learned is that the book was actually like up high, and all that down there into the depths of whatever is like,
There's something down there. There is for sure something.
So
behind the door.
Again, another fun. What if we had used that scroll of water breathing and done a little exploring what we would have found? But definitely very interesting to even.
Spoiler alert! You're not getting through that door at this level.
Yeah, I figured that was the case. But no, I like the idea that the world itself is.
Gotta buy the DLC.
Like
what the
wards and stuff are just slowly just wearing down over time. Just time is the biggest, most powerful thing. Steve, what about you?
I don't know. I think that like Sidhei or we broke it. Sidhei by starting the big investigation into it all, or us, or the four, or maybe Mud. I think my number one theory is that Mud started the breaking of,
kicked it off.
Yeah, with the whole looking into the cairns and shit. And thus Dryan through Mud. And the question is, why does Dryan want to break this cycle? What's going on there? I think Dryan's the reason the reset didn't happen. Somehow. Either directly or indirectly.
I can get behind that as well.
So, going on that, I wonder if Mud and Slick James aren't the ones. Maybe the reset doesn't happen on our end in Melandria. Maybe the reset happens from the Truman Show, the people who are watching us
Ooh.
from the other plane.
Oh, yes, that's the theories I'm liking to hear.
Yes.
We're all in a Truman Show.
Oh my god, it's a reality show. Oh,
It's
fuck.
a simulation.
That's why there were scryballs everywhere. They were getting camera angles. Damn it!
Ivor is obviously Starius.
Oh my god!
I love it. I love
Next
that.
time on Melandria.
And Julian's the guy that is actually in on it, that knows it's a reality show, but they're just, yeah,
He's
they're
the mole.
The mole.
I'm the full to
Yeah,
make
they're gonna
things
be
go
coming
the
in
way
as
they
Anderson
friend.
go.
Cooper up in this bitch
Yeah.
with the mole.
Yeah.
I'm the undercover boss.
Also, who's the boy? Who is this
Who
boy?
is this? Who is
No
this
one
random
fucking
mythical
knows.
child? Who
It's a football.
talked
obviously.
to a lady with the stag, and a stag also appeared in somebody's dream revision. So yeah,
Ivor's scry on the 4.
that is fun, right? So
Who the fuck is
the
this
child.
guy? Like,
All right, real quick.
Nobody knows.
We're gonna do one quick. We're gonna jump over real quick. You got audience questions. Y'all been throwing them, giving them all this stuff. Want to get to those, so we don't forget them. And again, they're all very important. And again, the first one to Emmy in regards to what we were just talking about. With all this, why are you so evil? That was from Viv.
Yeah, that's a good
why
question.
evil?
The tracks.
Why evil?
yeah, because when you're a short, like 5'2" girl, people don't expect you to be evil, so it's more fun.
Disarming, right? It's,
Yeah, you're too
again,
cute.
Yeah,
Just
they don't
like,
expect it. You're like a little bunny, and they're like, "Oh, bunnies aren't evil," and then you're like, "I have teeth."
Love that.
Quick,
right,
the holy hand
thank
grenade
you.
of Antioch.
From OG, she wanted to know, for everybody, what's our wildest theories on who the invaders are? Because again, as we've talked tonight, there's spiders, there's little dragons, but also there's the random people that have come here from another place that are like, I can smell his magic on you. What the fuck is that? Anyway, anyone have any thoughts on that? I
You
have no
start,
idea.
Ray.
I have no idea who they are. Maybe they're from the other place. But
Grunyog.
even then, Grunyog, but that isn't even, like, if they are from there, that seems weird as well. Because, like,
Yeah.
that actually seems like a neutral place, if anything, especially if that's where, like, Mud and, Slick and, like, from what we can tell, like, where they're from, like, doesn't
It's
seem
not
like it
where
would
they're
just-
from. They're from Juar. Mud and James.
Yeah, Mud and James are from a third plane. That, yeah, it doesn't make
Okay.
sense why they're here.
Yeah.
So that, but yeah, even then, see there, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea who these people are or why she's in I'm a giggly murder fest. I'm in, like, whatever, whoever. What about you, Josh? What do you got? Anything? Mr. Have you prepared the realm?
Yeah.
Mr. Have you prepared
If you
the
could
realm?
blush, you would have blushed right there. You just turned all sorts of shades of red.
Yeah, no, I'm very much. I very much have no idea. We'll see what happens. I'm lost.
Listen, I hate
stumped.
to tell you this, but I think you have the classic, oh no, is this story about me syndrome, where for some strange reason the people are calling you out, sir. So that's fun.
Yeah, I don't appreciate that. And we couldn't even beat him. He's like, yeah, later,
No.
we'll see you later. So now there's
Yeah.
going to be a second battle with this guy, and
Right.
he'll probably be twice as strong because we'll be
Yeah, and
higher
they'll be like,
level.
oh, you ran away the
you'll
first
never
time.
see
It's like,
him again.
Yeah.
dang it. No, if anything, don't worry. Either we're gonna fight them all as one group, or they're gonna be splintered off like final bosses, or one guarding each new realm of blah blah blah. We're taking over. Then it becomes like a freaking Assassin's Creed where you're going territory by territory, trying to
Diving off of towers.
eagle swing.
Going off of that,
Ivor,
like,
no!
I didn't cast. There was no feather fall. Splat.
Dang, there it went. he died how he lived.
I've learned this
the other guys?
haystack.
Yeah, aim for the bushes.
I got two theories, and one is they're the ones who've been watching the reality show, and they've come to be the people behind the newscaster, like trying to get their 5 minutes of fame. The other thing is
Like right in the blank.
Mira, when like if you want to go with the theory that Julian was in a different plane for a short period of time, which is where experience like his gap of not being here comes from. I'm gonna say Mira is an ex of Julian's, and we've got to defeat that ex in order to move on.
Oh, Scott Pilgrim style.
Scott
Yes.
Pilgrim, yes. Oh my god.
The bar.
So did you prepare the realm for me? Was more like, did you get the bedroom ready kind of thing? or-
Yeah, realm
Yeah.
is another word for bedroom.
And then what does Julian do? I gotta go.
I got Peace.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen. What? Mira? Yeah.
Who are you? Oh man, I'm so sorry. I don't
Hey,
remember.
you.
It's like it's the celebrity that's like, hey, blah blah blah. We met at this one show one time in Austin, and you've done like 500 shows since like 2 years ago, and you're like, yeah,
That
person. Good to see you again.
Hey, you.
hey you.
All right.
So my craziest
yeah.
theory is
Yeah.
that they are from wherever Julian went.
Yeah.
That, and I don't think it was Kruinyang. I don't think he was in Kruinyang. I think it was somewhere else. But they're from wherever he went. That's the crazy theory. The theory that I think is true is actually OG's theory, which is that like Melandria wasn't like separated as a prison or anything. It was a safe haven from this shit. And now they found us.
Like a neutral, like this was like the neutral ground.
Like this
we're the
was
Ark.
this was the Ark to leave a dying realm because of these guys. But now they found us, so no. That's
Yeah,
my
and I
actual
think
theory.
We established that we're on one plane of existence and teleporting to other planes just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
We discovered that there's one other with Kruinog, but then apparently there's another one from where Mud and Slick
Yeah.
are from. So now the question is, if there are multiple different dimensions out there, are we part of that? Are we part of that? Not, for lack of a better word, are we part of that?
I feel like we're a bubble.
Are we a separate? Like we're outside.
I feel like we're a
the,
demiplane.
yeah.
That's what I
maybe
think.
there was a time in history where like the entire plane had cracked into several different pieces, and these creatures come from in between the plane, right? So it's not necessarily a different plane; it's just like the cracks of existence.
Okay, so
The
thinking
negative
of that,
space.
Negative space.
if we can touch on what was Juar in your previous books and stuff, could you tell us, or shrug, is Juar a flat plane like Melandria, or was Juar
Oh great, Tyler's a
round
flat planer.
like Earth?
No, it was a globe. Yeah, it was a
It was
planet.
a globe. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. They
Interesting.
originally it was the Forgotten Realms from D&D stuff.
Yeah.
And we went to Ravnica, but this is not that. Legally
This is not
distinct.
that. This is not that.
Yeah. Nope.
It's
They
changed
are from a
significantly.
different realm. Melandria, as we know, was possibly connected to a place called Kruinyog. Don't know why we're cut off from anyone else, or if there is anyone else.
It also throws in the question, again, to tie it kind of back to Melandria, why is it set up the way that it is, where if a reset happens, again, we're reset right now, and we're like, oh yes, our history is 8,000 blah 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 years, and this is how it's always been.
Yeah.
But then a reset happens, what's to stop it from resetting to like
2.
Like a year ago,
Yeah.
2 years ago, like 5 years ago. When do they decide to reset? And is it from the very beginning? Is it from like?
Yeah,
like
is it the last save point?
Is this
last
the furthest
checkpoint?
in the cycle? Is this the furthest in the cycle we've dared go? Which is why it snapped, because technically it should have reset at this point. But
I like that. I like that.
All valid questions, and I can
And what's the
confidently say
freaking
they will be
number?
answered.
what's the number?
What is that?
What is it?
That's a great question too. How is it,
It
being
went
affected?
up by over 1,000.
It's been going down for several episodes, and then boom. What'd you do?
Come
All right,
on,
now
guys.
here's
I know
another
they're-
question.
It's because
I
I
know
worked through a bully.
Are you affecting it?
Don't
I think
know.
so. I think so.
I don't
This
think
is
we
where
are.
I need the internet to, like
Josh.
weaponize this and be like, somebody
No.
figure out what these numbers mean.
No, because
I think the numbers are a crucial point. Like, Steve, what's the midnight clock, the doomsday clock?
Doomsday clock. That's what
Okay,
it's
so the
called.
doomsday. I think the numbers are like a doomsday clock. There's a certain
Coming up.
number in which you hit, and it's like this is the reckoning.
The nukes are launched.
So, as depending on what we do or the realm does, we get closer to that doomsday. But then, as good deeds are done or more enemies are vanquished, the number goes down. We don't know if the higher the number, if that's better. We
Yeah,
don't
we
know
don't.
if a low number
Well,
is better. It could be golf.
will
I don't
say-
know.
At least in like right now, this was our first like win in terms of like in the public, defending the people, becoming heroes, if you will, and it jumped up by over 1,000. So we at least have that as now like a data point in terms of if we do it again, is it gonna go up? Does it go down based on how we fight? Or like what happens in the encounter? It's a question.
I mean, those are all valid questions, and I just want to reassure you all, real quick, that I think it would be really shitty for me to bring up a concept like this and not have a reason. I do have a reason. I'm not just fucking with you.
I believe 100%. We can go ahead.
I'm reassuring you and the audience. There is a purpose.
Someone mark it right now, because we'll cut to this at the very end of all this. But like, we're gonna be in some supercut where we're gonna like, it's gonna get revealed at the end, and it's gonna be like the whole time, and it's gonna cut through each of these moments where we talk about this number, and then and then it's gonna happen. Everyone, just go ahead. If you're in the Twitch chat, go ahead and throw your
Sense
name there.
motive.
Hi, future me.
So that way, again, whenever it gets revealed, we're gonna be like, oh, remember back at this moment at the end of chapter 2, whenever everyone was really confused about this? Yeah.
what if it's
You
the
built such a
number
great
of
world,
extra
thank you.
planar creatures in this realm?
What if it's RNG?
What is
What if it's just a
Glimmer?
random number? Just,
Just a random.
just.
It's
I don't know. I
Glimmer's
don't
health
think you'd
Google.
work. I
It's
don't think
Glimmer's
she.
health random.
I know my DM, and she always tells me to read the DM, and I don't think that, number one, she would dangle something in front of us that wasn't critically important, because that's been the way this entire Phelan was there the whole time. Okay, so
Oops.
I don't feel like this is one of those haha, I'm just doing it to fuck with you moments. But also, she's got that big brain where she's definitely got some kind of system in place, I feel like.
Needs
So,
to be committed.
you're doing great, and we are all very excited to be a part of your world.
Tyler, what did you say when I said, what is Glimmer?
Oh, I was saying it's Glimmer's health points.
Oh yeah. Legendary HP over here, 900 plus. Glimmer coming in with the steel chair.
Nope.
No, it's going to turn out that Glimmer was in fact a god at some point, and we're just going to be like, oh yeah, no.
Glimmer's
Yeah, it wasn't a
Catan.
Yeah, we knew it. The plot thickens yet again. All right, real quick, one final question. This is from OG to Julian. Sorry, Julian. Once again, it's all about you.
Oh, no.
You're the craziest character. We don't know nothing about you.
God, he's so hot.
Yeah, that too.
What does it feel like about like learning most of the world thinks that you're basically a villain and awful, and history remembers you poorly?
Oh yeah, I saw that question earlier. I was thinking about that. So him thinking that he's realizing that people are thinking he's a villain, but also he kind of understands how the world works, you know, like with news and shit. Like the people that are running the world, the people that have the most say are the ones that dictate history, right?
Yeah, the victors. History is written by the victors.
He's old enough to know this. Yeah,
right. So to me, I don't take that as fact. I just take that as an opinion. Like that's just like your opinion, man. And I'm gonna continue. I'm just gonna continue showing them that I'm actually not a villain, and they were wrong.
Just keep that smile.
Yeah. You know, victory
Hello,
through
everybody.
spite. I love that. You know, just absolute. Victory through absolute. Because fuck you. That's why.
Never.
Elders Blast.
Elders Blast.
Force Cage.
I would
literally love to attack you right now.
I just stabbed that guy in the back, but I'm really good.
I
Be right back.
literally.
I'm gonna go jump on a dragon.
Excuse me, Gwen, I need your cast for a second. Fuck!
I literally.
Nothing going on in here.
In your ass.
Why is everything so much? I'm great, guys. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
There needs to be an
they're figuring out
episode
I'm a
when you guys are on watch, and Julian just asks for your cask, and just yells in the
Into
cask,
the
thinking
jug,
that
yeah.
that's how it works.
Yeah.
Aw.
That's not how that works.
Easy clap. Definitely.
I can't wait to fucking murder somebody! Fuck!
The police are gonna knock on Josh's doors.
Yeah.
I can't wait to
will
reveal
show
that I
up.
pledged myself to the Dark Lord Ugalon. Ah!
And there goes Ray's neighbors.
Oh my god.
Listen,
Amazing.
what a great night of questions. I'm so glad. There's still some that I didn't even get to, but that is the nature of the beast, at least my personal ones, the ones that you submitted, chat, we got to. We thank you for submitting those tonight, and for everyone who participated in chat. Guys, we love telling stories and being a part of your evenings here in good old Forge of Lore. It's such a privilege to just to grab your attention, even for just a moment, as we kind of have fun, roll some dice, and continue to just kind of deal with a ever crazy world in a fun, distracting, yet hoping to be positive at the end of the day vibe. We thank everyone who's active in the Discord, everyone who's been on this journey with us so far. And if you are just now wanting to join the journey, Chapter 3 is about to start soon, so
What a
now
great
is the
time to jump
Get
in!
here. Get in right now. It's going to be ever so chaotic. We have no idea what's in store. The world is quickly ending, and apparently we're one of the only ones that can potentially save it as these things go. So make sure that you are following along here at Twitch. Make sure to hit that follow. Make sure to hit that subscribe. If you're on our YouTube, make sure that you like our YouTube and hit the little notification bell, so whenever one of our videos, pops up, you go and you hit the like button automatically and make a comment, so that way the algorithm does its thing. You're following on the Instagrams, you're following on, all the social medias. Listen, we're out there, and where can you find all of these links? forgeoflore.com. That's right, forgeoflore.com. So, what are you waiting for? Get in here, get in the adventure. We're all, again, excited to, I think, show you what the Knotbreakers' future has to hold. And also, maybe, possibly, figure out the existence of the world as we go. And yes, Sure.
Licky Boys for life.
Thank you. Yes. Awesome. Thank you, everyone, again tonight who's joined us. We're going to find somebody to raid as we kind of get ready to wrap things up and stop recording. But as always, we thank you guys for sticking around with us this evening. Y'all have a good night.